Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm one of the Hearst Guide leaders. I'm looking forward to today because we're on our chocolate sleepover. Everyone loves chocolate, me included. Well, you're going to be making lots of delicious things, I'm sure, over this weekend. I can't wait to make the Rocky Road. But I'm going to get you to make a box ready to store it in. Not that it's going to be there that long, I'm sure. But what you'll need for this is 2 pieces of paper, a ruler, a rubber, a pencil, and a pair of scissors. And the first thing we're going to do is on our card with our ruler, we're going to draw a 20 centimetres square, okay? And we obviously need to make sure we leave room to draw that. So I'm just going to draw it on my piece of paper. And just draw the lines just quickly here. So measuring quite carefully a lot on your paper, and we'll be rubbing out some of our pencil lines a little bit later on, but we just want to mark them quite clearly. That's why we're doing them in pencil and not pen. So the first thing you're going to do is draw a simple 20 centimetre square. The next thing we're going to do is get our ruler, and we're going to then measure 5 centimetres from the edge of your paper, and we're going to draw a dotted line down here. We're going to do the same from here, 5 centimetres, 5 centimetres. We're going to draw a dotted line down there. Once we've done that, we're going to turn our paper over and draw the dotted lines here. So we should have 4 dotted lines crossing over each other. I'm going to draw mine and I'll show you when I'm finished. Okay, so remember, we need to measure this quite accurate because we want our box to be square. So we're going to do our 5 centimetre dotted lines, and we're just going to do a dotted line. These lines we definitely will be rubbing out in a little minute. Take your time, better to measure once, because we are going to cut out our box in a little while. So there we go. I've just, as you can see, drawn the dotted line. So I've measured with my ruler my 5 centimetres, and then I've done the same at the bottom, and then I've taken my ruler and I've joined them up, and then I've drawn the line down. I've done the same along this line and along this line. So I've got 4 lines, 2 going down and 2 coming across. The next thing I'm going to do is use my ruler and measuring from the left side of your page. We're going to, and I'm saying the left because we're always going to measure from the left on this one. And we're going to take our ruler. I'll just line mine up for you, and then you'll see what I want you to do next. We're going to measure 12.5 centimetres. Now, I'm going to turn it round there. And you can see I've just done a little pencil mark just above my finger here, 12.5 centimetres along from the left-hand side. Now, we've also got our 5 centimetre line, this line from here. What we're going to do next is measure 2.5 centimetres up from that line. So I'm going to do that now. We're just going to make a little faint line on our paper where that 2.5 centimetres. But what we want to actually do is form a triangle here. So what I did when I was looking at this earlier was just draw a very faint line across, and then I'm going to join those 2 lines up into a triangle. So roughly, if we've got, let me just remeasure. So about 1 centimetre in between those 2 lines. So I just measured 1 centimetre and drew it up. So as you can see, that's how I did it. I measured my 12.5 centimetres, which brought me to here. then in between these two marks is 2 centimeters. So I've measured 1 centimeter and drawn a line up. This is my line, which is my 2.5 centimeters up. So I've drawn a line, so it's crossing there. So that's the point of my triangle. So now I'm going to join this line and this line together. I'm just going to do that on this one to show you. So as you can see, I've drawn the triangle there. You're going to do exactly the same, turning it round, always starting from the left and going across, because otherwise, and keep rotating it round and always starting in the left. So you should, at the end of that, I've changed my green paper, one I did earlier, just good Blue Peter style. So I've done my 12.5 centimeters. I did that same technique to do these. So I've got my triangles, and you can see that there's a triangle on each of my sides. Now, the next thing you're going to need is your scissors, and we're going to cut out around the whole outlining of this now. Careful not to chop those triangles off. So I'm just going to cut along this one. So your base to your box and the top of your box are going to use exactly the same pattern. So you'll need to repeat this for your base and your top. And once it's all finished, you can either leave it plain or you can get creative. Get your pens out, make paper flowers, Easter bunnies, draw Easter eggs, whatever you want to decorate your box. If it's going to be a gift, that would be wonderful. Maybe make a gift tag for it, but wrap it up in ribbon, make it really pretty. It'll make an excellent Easter treat, maybe for an afternoon tea or something with your family. Hopefully we'll be able to meet friends in our gardens and things very soon. So a nice treat, maybe a neighbour you might know, a neighbour or somebody that may be on their own. This would be an excellent treat for them, because who doesn't like Rocky Road? I'm sure any neighbour or somebody that you know on their own would love it as a treat. So whatever you decide to do with yours, I'm sure whoever enjoys it will. So you can see I've started to get my points here. So I'll just cut that one off. I think that's me done. So now you can see I've got a 20 centimetre square with my little points at that 12.5 centimetre area. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to just get our ruler, and along our dotted lines we're going to put our ruler, and then we're going to take our scissors. And you need to be careful with this. Maybe a parent might want to help you with this. But what we're going to do is we're going to open our scissors, and we're going to, with our ruler, score down the line. Just drag your scissors down that line, and that will score the paper, making it easier to fold. Okay, and you're going to do that along the 4 dotted lines, just dragging your scissors down along there. Don't forget to close your scissors up once you're finished. We don't want you to have. Now the next thing we're going to do, in the directions, which hopefully you've got, where our triangles are on the short side here, this line here is done in blue on your instructions, and we're just going to cut from the edge of the triangle down to where that line joins there, and that there will be our tabs, so it'll make the bits that we'll be putting our glue on when we get to that stage. So we're just going to take our scissors and just cut this one. So we're just going to cut it down to the dotted line, and we're going to do that on each of the corners on that shortest edge, just down to that dotted line, and we're going to turn it round, and we're going to do it down to that dotted line. One last one. I'm going to turn it down to that dotted line. So now you should have a piece of paper with lots of little tabs here. Okay. Now the next thing you can do, so it looks nice, we're going to just rub out all those pencil lines so that we don't have those showing in the finished box. So I'm just going to take a moment with my rubber and just rub out all my measurement lines so it looks nice and neat. Just brush away the excess of the rubber, get rid of all that. Okay, so now I've got my box parts. I'm just going to, where we scored it, we're just going to fold. It should make it nice and easy to fold now where it was scored. You see how much easier just by scoring that box line. That's going to make it so you can see how it will come together. Now, you're going to then fold the tabs just inside there, leaving that pointy bit sticking up, okay? And you're going to do that the same on all four corners. Put in a little bit of glue here to seal it. I just need to just grab my glue. I'll be back with you. Oh. Here I am. Just undo my glue. I've got PVA here. You can use any glue you like. Pritt Stick is quite nice and easy. Doesn't matter what glue you have. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. I'm going to put it round. I'm just going to hold that for a few moments just to make sure that glue is sticking nicely. You can even use double-sided tape. Whatever you have glue-wise at home will be fine. Okay, just making sure your glue is nice and dry before you use your box. I'm going to fold each of these tabs in. Again, adding glue. And sticking that together. Third corner. Again, add a little bit of glue. Hold those two corners. Just hold them whilst they're dry. Won't take 2 moments for them to stick nicely together. My last one, just going to tuck that in. Put a little bit of glue. And stick it together. Okay, now obviously I will need to leave that to dry a little bit before I put a lining in there. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that for a little minute, and whilst that is drying, you can do exactly the same to make your other side. So don't forget, we started with our square, 20 centimeters, and then after that we drew our lines 5 centimeters from the edges, drawing it down, turning it round, doing exactly the same. So we had our 4 lines. What we did next was measure from this corner from our left over 12.5 centimeters. And then we needed to make this triangle. So then I measured this bit here between this point and this point, which was 2 centimeters. So I did measured 1 and drew up, and my 2.5 centimeters up. Then I formed my little triangle here. Okay. Then I did it on each of the other sides. So we're just going to turn that round like we did earlier, cut it out. Then after that, if you remember, we used our ruler and we used the open scissors, and we just scored down each of these dotted lines, making it easier for us to fold. And then this is the line which was marked in blue on the instructions, just down to this point, which is where we're going to cut to make our tabs. Yeah, and then folding it and gluing it. Now, once it's all dry, don't forget, get your get your Pensacola pens, whatever it may be, and get decorating. Make it as fancy as you like, and ribbon, string to put it together once they case in. I'll post a picture of my finished one for you at the end of this video. Have fun making your boxes.